Good evening, guys, or good morning, or good afternoon, again, depending on what time you are accessing this video. It's Teacher's Yard again with another English lesson for you. I hope that you noticed that all of my PowerPoints that I do create has sort of a similar structure. Today's heading has changed though. This is called vowel patterns. And before I jump straight into vowel patterns, I just wanted to find out what vowels are, because I remember from class every time we do vowels and consonants, so I speak about vowels. It takes a few seconds or sometimes a minute for you guys to remember what vowels are. So here's a small reminder for you guys. Remembering our vowels, remember our ABCs, our alphabet. And I know every time you say teacher, teacher, we are not in KG, but you keep forgetting. So I'll keep reminding you until you remember them, until you are finished with school. So remembering our vowels: A for apple, E for egg, I for igloo, O for octopus, and U for umbrella, or U for uniform. So these are our 5 vowels in the English alphabet. And remember that the other 21 letters in the English alphabet are called, yep, consonants. So vowels and consonants. So just remember that any letter of any of these 5 letters are our vowel sounds. It makes our sounds when we use words and forms our syllables, if you remember that. So today's lesson is about vowel patterns, and we are going to jump into a few vowel patterns that you may or may not have seen before. Some of the words that you guys so beautifully, some of you, sorry, some of the words that you guys so beautifully read from our story time and our reading circles. You may have come across some of the words that we are going to see today, and also the vowel sounds. So here are the vowel sounds that we are going to tackle today. So we've got A, which is a vowel. We've got AU, AW, AL, AUGH, and OUGH. So in your readers and writers notebooks, you are going to come across some words that have these letters right next to each other in it, especially in this week's lesson, or the lesson that we had to do last week. Your spelling words for week 8 and also now for week 9. On one of the pages, it states here that altogether the above listed vowel patterns make the same sound. So if I have the letter A, for example, and I have, I'm just going to stop this here. Actually, I just want to show you and type it in so that you can actually see. So I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm just going to share the whiteboard with you guys. Open that. There we go. So remember that the letter A is one of my vowel patterns that I showed you. So if, for example, I have, there we go. I have the letter A, but I'm putting it in the word all, or I'm putting it in the word wall. So the word all, it makes the sound that you get here is O, right? And in wall, you also get the sound O. So all of the vowel patterns I'm about to do with you is structured around the sound, or the vowel pattern sound O. Like, you know, when you see this word, um, do you like the color blue or black? This word here, the word O, let me just highlight that or spotlight that quickly. This word here, O, that word, that is the sound we are trying to create, not this word itself, but the sound. It makes the sound O, like all or wall. So keep that in mind when we are tackling the rest of the vowel patterns, because the letter A was pretty simple in this instance. So I'm going to stop this one real quickly, and then I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint, to my vowel patterns. Here we go. Let me just make that a bit bigger. And I just want to get a little laser pointer out here so that we can sort of have a look. Right. Okay, so spotlight, there we go. So altogether, the above listed vowel patterns make the same sound, and now you are familiar with the sound that it makes. It is the sound O, and each of them are used differently. However, they all sound the same. So they make the O sound. This little O here with the forward slashes or the dashes next to it makes the O sound. So keep that in mind. So we've got AU, which makes O, AW, which makes O. AL might seem a bit strange to you, that makes the O sound, but remember I had ALL, it was all. So we have that, and then the AUGH, or, and then OUGH, or. What I want you to remember and keep in your mind at the moment is that these two here, AUGH and OUGH, they actually can make a different sound as well when combined with other letters and words. But I want you to just focus on the O sound for me today, okay? So we're going to hop on to the next slide, and then we'll have a look. Let me just clear this, and I'll just have to put the laser back. On the next slide, I've got a couple of rules for you. Obviously, with English and grammar or spelling and phonics, there are many, many rules in the English language, which can be quite confusing sometimes, but that is why I am here to help you get to know these rules and help you master some of the rules and the English language itself. So one of the very first O sounds or the vowel patterns that we had, which was AU, we have in the word because, many other words as well. I just use this one as an example. So the word because has the AU, and notice that it has O. Now, the vowel pattern combination AU can come at the beginning of a word, or it can come in the middle of the word, but never at the end of the word. You'll never have the O sound when the AU vowel pattern combination is at the end of a word. So remember that with the AU sound, you will have it either at the beginning of a word or in the middle, somewhere in the middle, but never at the end. So that's rule number one. Rule number two, with the vowel pattern combination AW, it also makes the O sound. I'm going to repeat that until you are able to remember it. So, or, this will either come at the end of a word, at the beginning, or even in the middle. So gives you an example of how we use this letter combination, the AW vowel pattern at the end of a word. Can you maybe think of a different word? Let me help you. So AU can also come in the front of a word, in the word awful, spelled AWFUL. So that's an example of how the AU letter combination can be used in the front of a word. And it also can be used in the middle of the word, like the word lawn, LAWN, which is one of your spelling words in your books. So lawn, which is also like a patch of grass in front of a house, or patch of grass somewhere. So that is what a lawn is. So that can be used in the front, in the middle, or at the back of a word. The letter combination AL, I gave you an example earlier on, AL or. That is an exception whereby you use it at the beginning, but it usually comes in the middle of a word, like with the word wall, like I showed you earlier, and then now with the word palm. It right enough doesn't make the AU, the O sound, but it is a vowel pattern combination that is similar to this one. So all, palm, always in the middle. The AUGH and the OUGH letter combinations make the O sound as well. They will be found in the middle of a word, never in the front. It will be found in the middle, and they will always most likely have the letter T at the back of it when they make the O sound, like taught or brought or bought. And I'm not going to delve into the other letter sound or the other vowel pattern sound that it makes when you have AUGH or OUGH, because it's going to confuse you. So focus on AUGH, OUGH in the middle of a word, followed by the word, the letter T, which makes the O sound. Only think of that now, because the other vowel combination is for a different lesson entirely, which we'll do in the coming weeks. But for now, remember the rules: AU, in the middle of a word or at the beginning of a word, like because, or at the beginning we have the word audience. So, beginning, middle, or end, like awful, so, and lawn. Palm in the middle. Taught, AUGH, both, OUGH, always in the middle and always followed by the letter T. So that is how we identify those words, or the vowel sound, or when you know where they come in a word, right? Or where they are placed in a word. The next slide, I'm basically just showing you some examples of different words with these letter combinations. Like here we have the word saw, here we have the word because, taught, and bought. Here you can see the AU sound, which is the same sound in because, is used in the front of a letter. I use a different letter combination, but it is author, so it has also the O sound. Here it's sort of in the middle because it's not in the beginning, because the letter S is in the beginning with the letter S over there. Let me just get the pointer out. There we go. So the AU is like second and then third, but not in front. So we won't say that it's in the middle, but it's not at the beginning of the word either. So sausage also makes an O sound. Faucet, that is basically, or in an American accent, people say faucet. So the pronunciation is a bit different, but the rule remains the same. AU is in the middle or sort of to the front, but not at the beginning. A faucet is basically a tap in the bathroom or in the kitchen. The word daughter, also not at the beginning, in the middle. Daughter is the opposite of the word son. I have my parents only had 3 sons, but my aunt has 3 daughters. So this is a female child or a girl child. I spoke of the word lawn earlier on, which I said was in your books as well. AW in the middle, can be at the end, like lawn is in the middle, saw is at the back, and then we can also have awful, AW, if you are, like I mentioned before. So lawn, the patch of grass. And then walk, to walk, it's an action. You walk, we walk every day, even if we're walking from our bedrooms to the bathroom or from our bedrooms to the kitchen to get something to eat. The AL is in the middle, walk. Here we have talk, AL in the middle as well. Remember I said AL always comes or is placed in the middle of a word. Here's another example of the letter combination AW, which is at the end of the word. So sure, close to the end, sort of in the middle. And in the word ball, AL again is in the middle, also makes the O sound. Crawl, when you are a baby and you cannot learn to walk yet, you learn how to crawl before you walk. So here AW sort of closer to the end, but not completely at the end. And then here is another example of how we have the AU combination at the beginning of a word, auto. So AU at the beginning. So these were our vowel patterns for the A, AU, AW, AUGH, and OUGH letter combinations. There are some activities in your book, which I will refer to you when we have our lesson. But I will see you with our next lesson. I miss you guys very much. Bye-bye.